Oh, right hand drops! Rodas, a huge right hand from the 18-year-old.
He's welterweight, but his punches land like sledgehammers hit on concrete.
Oh, there! Big shot. Oh, that's downstairs, too.
The only thing harder than his right hand is the canvas his opponents hit.
Hernandez, as I mentioned, is 1-3 with a
When he goes into dog mode, his rivals can only wish it's over soon.
No, you need to go back behind the jab, but that's the thing about Kavaliauskas.
Vergil Ortiz Jr. is 24-0 with 22 knockouts. That knockout rate places him among the most dangerous finishers in boxing, but the record alone doesn't tell you why. The question isn't whether he can hurt you, it's whether you can survive long enough to hear the final bell.
See the eyes, and there he goes.
Vergil Ortiz Jr. was born in Dallas, Texas on March 25, 1998, and raised in Grand Prairie. His father, Vergil Ortiz Sr., had boxed as an amateur in Mexico and understood what the sport could teach a young kid about discipline and focus. When Ortiz was 5 years old, his father took him to a local gym. The first day, he watched fighters hit the heavy bag and didn't think much of it. Then, on the second day, he asked his father if he could try. They put him in with another 5-year-old. He did well enough that the coaches noticed. From that point forward, boxing became the center of his life. Ortiz Sr. trained him personally through the early years, drilling fundamentals and instilling a work ethic that would carry him through the amateur ranks. By his teenage years, Ortiz was dominating national tournaments. He captured 7 national titles across different age groups and weight classes, learning how to handle pressure, stay composed when hurt, and how to drop opponents. In 2013, at 15 years old, he won the Junior Olympics at 110 pounds, putting him on the radar of every major trainer and promoter in the country. His amateur record finished at 140 wins and 20 losses. The losses came early, but by his late teens, he was beating everyone. Opponents remember his speed and power. Even at lighter weights, he could hurt you. What separated Ortiz from other prospects was his mentality. He approached every session like preparation for a world title fight. When he began training at Robert Garcia's gym in Oxnard, California, he sparred with established professionals and held his own. Garcia saw something that couldn't be taught, the ability to stay composed under fire and the passion for hard work. Outside the ring, Ortiz found balance through music. He taught himself guitar and piano, spending hours writing songs and playing between training sessions. For someone who made his living through violence, music became his outlet, a way to process the intensity of the sport and express himself beyond the brutality of boxing. It grounded him in a life that demanded constant aggression. In 2016, at 18 years old, Ortiz signed with Golden Boy Promotions and turned professional. The goal was clear: a world title by 25. Ortiz made his professional debut on July 30th, 2016 against Julio Rodas at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino in California. He knocked Rodas out in the first round.
The old-timers would say it looks like both guys are double parked here. Oh, right hand drops! Rodas!
His following 3 fights lasted a combined 4 minutes.
Hernandez, as I mentioned, is 1-3 with a
You see the eyes, and there he goes down.
Most young prospects are given soft touches early in their careers to build confidence. Ortiz was no different in terms of opposition quality, but what stood out was how he dismantled them. There was no feeling out process. He walked forward, landed clean shots, and ended fights. Trainers who watched him fight during this period noted that he fought like someone who had been a professional for years, not months.
Vergil's just, a very special fighter. Plus, it's a welterweight. This kid is one of the most dedicated kids in the sport, in my gym for sure.
On September 16, 2017, on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez versus Golovkin at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Vergil continued his KO streak by knocking out Cesar Valenzuela in the second round. It didn't come in with too much struggle.
Let him go! Oh, that was right to the shoulder.
This was his first appearance on a major pay-per-view card. Millions of people were watching. He looked calm walking to the ring, calm during the fight and calm afterward. The stage didn't rattle him. His next several fights followed the same pattern. He fought Jesus Alvarez Rodriguez in February 2018 and stopped him in the third round to win the vacant WB CNABF Junior Super Lightweight title.
The crowd oohing and eyeing with this punch.
That 1-2 hurt.
Yes, it did.
That 1-2
and
hurt.
Staggered him.
And let me tell you something, he staggered him. Now let's go to the
bottom.
bottom.
Wobbly. Ortiz sees that.
The
The referee's watching very carefully because there was 3 or 4 punches right on the money, and I'm really surprised he stood up like that.
Alvarez, wow. Staying up, and that's it. It is over.
In June 2018, he knocked out Juan Salgado with a devastating liver shot in the 3rd round.
Nice left hook to the liver, and down goes Salgado.
In September 2018, he stopped Roberto Ortiz in the 2nd round. The fight was never competitive.
Shot from Vergil. Ortiz.
By early 2019, Ortiz had 13 wins, all by knockout. His average fight lasted 2.8 rounds. Golden Boy knew they had something special, but they also knew the opposition had been carefully selected. The next step was to see if he could do it against someone who belonged in the ring with him and could actually stand as a strong opposition. Antonio Orosco came into this fight with a 28-1 record and 17 knockouts. His only loss had been a 12-round war with Jose Ramirez for the WBO super lightweight title in September 2018. He had never been stopped. He was tough, experienced, and had been in deep water before. Orozco was the kind of fighter who could expose a young prospect if that prospect wasn't ready. He had fought professionally since 2008 and had seen every style, every trick, every attempt to intimidate him. If Ortiz was going to be a world-level fighter, this was where he needed to prove it. The fight took place on August 10th, 2019, at the theater at Grand Prairie in Texas, Ortiz's home territory. The vacant WBA gold welterweight title was on the line. From the opening bell, Ortiz pressed forward. He didn't waste time trying to feel Orozco out. He cornered Orozco early and threw hard shots that nearly put him down in the 1st round.
Go the distance. His nickname is Relentless, and that's exactly what he's going to have to be tonight.
Boy, Ortiz going right after Orozco. He's got him in the corner.
But Orozco covered up and survived the onslaught. When the pressure eased, Orozco came out of his shell and began working behind his jab.
Boy, Orozco would love it if Ortiz Jr. could burn off a lot of that energy.
The crowd was loud, chanting Ortiz's name, but Orozco wasn't intimidated. He had fought in hostile environments before. He started landing his right hand and making Ortiz think.
Boxing on the ropes, even against the ropes, he's dangerous with those heavy punches.
That's some good work from Orozco, who's scoring on the end. Orozco with a sweeping right hand, trying to work to the body.
The 2nd round was more competitive, with both men landing clean shots.
Orozco said he didn't hesitate for 1 second. Ortiz Jr.
with neither of the men wanting to back down.
The young power puncher in Ortiz Jr.
Big overhand right just misses for Orozco. Ortiz fighting back off the ropes now. Can Ortiz Jr. carry his power into the later rounds? We've never seen him past 5.
The fight settled into a rhythm in the 3rd and 4th rounds. Orozco was holding his ground and landing clean counters. Ortiz's face started to redden from the jabs Orozco was snapping into it.
Back as well. They are throwing hooks at the same time, Sergio. If they both connect, it could be lights out.
Yeah, this is Ortiz's homecoming, but Orozco.
Ortiz kept pressing, but Orozco was making him work for everything.
Over in a fight that was canceled, and in December 2016, he passed out because of a weight drain.
Backwards, he's been pushing Ortiz, getting him against the ropes.
Right in that position. Whoa, a big right connecting for Orozco.
In the corner between rounds, Robert Garcia told Ortiz to go back to the body, and he came out in the 5th, targeting the body more aggressively.
Ortiz Jr.'s nose.
Orozco's output started to drop.
Lost to Jose Ramirez for Antonio Orozco, but his most recent fight, a 10-round decision over Mexico's Jose Luis Rodriguez. So it was a good fight.
In the 6th round, Ortiz landed a clean left uppercut, and Orozco went down.
And you've got to wonder how much the crowd's reaction is influencing the judges. Can Orozco get a fair shake? He just caught a big left uppercut and goes.
The referee started counting. Orozco got up at 8, but you could see in his eyes that he was hurt badly, and Ortiz didn't give him time to recover.
He says he's ready. Ortiz is a great finisher. Catches him with another left. fist fly, and down for a second time.
Orosco went down again, and the referee started counting. He got up, but his legs still weren't right. The referee looked at him closely, checked his eyes, and let the fight continue. Orosco tried to move away, but Ortiz cut off the ring. Another barrage sent Orosco down for the third time.
Bad intentions.
The referee waved it off. Orosco sat on the canvas, frustrated but unable to continue. He had never been stopped before in his career, and now a 21-year-old had dropped him 3 times in 1 round. Ortiz had become the first man to stop Antonio Orosco. The win proved he could break down a seasoned veteran who had been in championship rounds. More importantly, it showed that the body attack wasn't just effective, it was systematic. After the fight, Ortiz said he felt like he could have done better in the early rounds. He was critical of himself even in victory.
You know what, this was my first big test. You know what, this is past few fights, you know, I'm gonna get tested this one. I'm gonna get tested this one. This is my big test.
That mentality, never satisfied, always looking to improve, was what separated him from other young fighters who got caught up in their own hype. Next was Brad Solomon, coming 28-1 into this fight. He was known as King Solomon, a slick boxer from New Orleans who had only lost a disputed decision to Konstantin Ponomariov. He had never been stopped. This was Ortiz's first title defense of the WBA Gold Welterweight title. The fight took place on December 13, 2019 in Indio, California. The first 2 rounds started rather cautiously. Both of them were just picking the right distance.
Just 1 fight in each year. So that's been the problem for him. What can we expect from
By the 3rd round, Ortiz was finding his range and landing consistently.
Sharp and snappy punches from Ortiz so far. He's not loading any up yet.
Ooze from the crowd as he landed the right and then goes to work again. Good variety again, picking his shot.
Solomon's movement started to slow as Ortiz's pressure accumulated.
Brought that to Konstantin Ponomariov on a split decision. Not back at Pacquiao Bradley fight, the 3rd fight that they had, Bradley's last fight.
In the 5th round, Ortiz hurt Solomon with a right hand upstairs.
Oh, big right hand in there as well. And Solomon is in trouble now with another right hand, and he's got his man in the corner. But Solomon's going to have to weather a huge storm there.
Solomon tried to hold, but Ortiz wasn't letting this slip.
Very ragged as Ortiz works body and head.
Looks like he doesn't want to be there anymore, Dom.
No, he's going down again, another knee. And the referee.
Solomon couldn't stand the beating anymore. He took then knee, and the referee waved it off. The fight was over. Ortiz had successfully defended his title and added another name to the list of opponents who had never been stopped before until they fought him. The next man to face the undefeated knockout artist was Samuel Vargas. He was a tough Canadian veteran with a 31-5-2 record. This fight was originally scheduled for March 2020, but was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. When it finally happened in July 2020 at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, Ortiz was coming off a 7-month layoff. From the start, Vargas came out with constant single punches, trying to pressure Ortiz early. Ortiz stayed calm and picked his shots.
Good chin, he's durable, he's tenacious, and I expect him not to get in a firefight with the bigger...
The fight evolved rather slowly, but from the start, Ortiz looked a lot more confident with what he threw.
Seemed to hit his gloves. And Vargas knew how strong of a puncher Ortiz Jr. is. He goes, listen, this guy's going to put on probably 20 pounds after the weigh-in. He's going to be a big boy. I've just got to work him to the fight, stay in the fight to the late rounds.
At one point, it looked like Ortiz got a bit too confident.
They're still doing damage. They're still feeling him. And Vargas, you can see by the reddening in his face and the reaction, how he's looking, that even though he's getting blocked, they hurt.
By the 2nd round, Ortiz was landing clean right hands that, even with hands up, snapped Vargas's head back.
Who's going to have the bigger career from the Golden Boy stables? They're going to be Ortiz Jr., I asked.
Vargas tried to disrupt his rhythm with a bunch of body blows, but it didn't give any result.
A couple of interviews, and I said the exact same thing. Longevity is going to be on Vergil Ortiz, because Ryan Garcia has other aspirations of movies or modeling underwear. I don't know what it is, Todd, but this man just has one thing on his mind, that's destruction and destroy. In the famous words of
Then, a series of right hands in the 3rd round landed on Vargas badly.
Test. Ortiz Jr. is going to win handily. Oh, there's that right. Been holding it back. There it is again, and again, and again.
finished the round, but that definitely did some damage, and the fight nearly ended in the 4th round.
National amateur champion, won gold at the 2013 Junior Olympics. And he's firing away now. Vargas stumbles backwards. Here comes the pain. Ortiz Jr. right hand, and Vargas wobbles.
Stop. Vargas managed to clinch, and he was safe for that round.
Gotta be careful not dipping to that same side.
Yeah, Vargas can't afford to trade shot for shot.
Nice little shoulder roll by Vargas right there. There it is.
In the 5th, Vargas was already gassed out, but still trying.
And he was just rolling with the shots. They weren't landing cleanly. They were bouncing off the shoulder. So that would tire out a power puncher if he keeps throwing the same shot with the same kind of power. So great advice by Vergil Ortiz Sr. in the corner.
Vargas showed a good performance thus far for Samuel Vargas. And you know, maybe he won that last round. Did you give it to him, Sergio?
In the 7th round, Ortiz continued to dominate.
Losing strength and speed and all that.
Vargas having a laugh, but he's not smiling now as the 22-year-old.
But instead of raising his defense, he thought playing WWE was a better idea.
And down goes Vargas, and he takes Ortiz Jr. with him.
Vargas will not.
The fight continued, and Ortiz was intended to finish.
Jack Reese calls yes on Vargas.
Stop. Let him go.
Big shot. Oh, that's downstairs too. And this is not where Vargas wants to be, backed up against the ropes.
And Jack Reese is giving him an opportunity just because he's so tough and determined.
The ref had seen enough at this point.
Stop. I've seen this fight. I'm sorry, bro. Taking a beat in these last.
He stepped in and stopped the fight. Ortiz had retained his title and extended his knockout streak to 17 straight. What stood out about this performance was how patient he had been. Vargas was trying to make it a rough, messy fight. Ortiz didn't get drawn into that. He waited for his openings, landed clean shots, and finished when the opportunity came. Up next, Golden Boy matched him with Maurice Hooker, a former WBO junior welterweight world champion. He had defended that title 3 times before losing it to Jose Ramirez in a unification fight. He was moving up to welterweight, same as Ortiz, but Hooker had championship experience. He had been in the ring with top-level opposition. He had a 4 to 5 inch reach advantage and knew how to use it. He shared a trainer with Terrence Crawford, Brian Bomac McIntyre. Both Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. were watching from ringside at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. This was the most significant test of Ortiz's career. If he passed it, he would be knocking on the door of a world title shot. If he failed, he would have to rebuild. Ortiz came out pressing from the first bell.
Long reach right there by the former champion.
Now Hooker's going to handle the first power punch that lands, and I think one just stung him a right hand. He backed up a little bit. And already
Hooker held Ortiz on his jab, but Ortiz kept pressing.
And Sergio, you told right hand again for Ortiz Jr.
Ortiz worked his way inside and began landing.
Get those hands back up quick when you throw the body shots, because Ortiz Jr. ready to fire.
This is high-octane power by both fighters right now. It's just beautiful to watch. The counter-punching, the power from Ortiz Jr., the counter-punching from Hooker. It's going to be a great fight.
Hooker had success in the 2nd and 3rd rounds with his length.
Hooker keeping Ortiz Jr. at bay.
The jabs were piling up. Ortiz's face was reddening, and there was visible swelling around his eye.
Let him fool you. He's an excellent body puncher, excellent inside fighter.
Good round for Hooker, but Ortiz can certainly kill him.
Keep it out there. Keep touching something. Power jab in that Brad Solomon fight. Solomon was a tricky and cagey fighter, moved around. It was the jab that took him out.
Good round here for Maurice Hooker.
Getting an angle after the combination. That's what I want to see more of from Hooker.
But Ortiz kept absorbing the punishment and walking forward.
Rounds.
I've got 3 rounds to none in favor of Vergil Ortiz. I think Hooker's done some pretty good work in spurts, but the heavier, cleaner shots are being landed by Vergil Ortiz.
Nice jab again from Ortiz Jr.
There's the jab that I was talking about that he learned from. He learned how.
Robert Garcia told him in the corner after the 4th round that headshots weren't going to stop Hooker. He needed to go downstairs.
He has too much dog in him. That's why he fought for those dog fights. The right hand needs to avoid that. And now Hooker.
In the 6th round, a body shot hurt Hooker badly. His face grimaced and he tried to move away. Ortiz cut off the ring, obliterating him with punches that sent Hooker down.
Ortiz thinks he's got him and he might have. Back against the ropes. He'll take a knee. Hooker is down.
Hooker got up at the count of 8, but the round ended before Ortiz could follow up. He came out for the 7th round, but after a short exchange took a knee, grimacing and holding his right hand. The referee counted him out. The official time was 36 seconds of round 7. Ortiz had won the vacant WBO International Welterweight title and passed the biggest test of his career in front of 2 of the best welterweights in the world. Hooker gave Ortiz his respect afterward, but said he wasn't ready for Crawford yet. Ortiz looked directly at Crawford during the post-fight interview and said he was more than willing. Crawford didn't respond. He just watched. The fight never got made. Ortiz would have to keep proving himself. In August of 2021, his opponent for the night was Egidijus Kavaliauskas, known as Mean Machine. He was ranked number 5 by the WBO at welterweight. He was 22 and 1-1 coming into this fight. His only loss had been a 9th round TKO against Terrence Crawford in December 2019. Crawford had put him down 3 times before finishing him, but Kavaliauskas had made him work for it. He was durable, powerful, and came to win. This was a step up in competition for Ortiz. If he could stop Kavaliauskas the way Crawford had, it would send a message. From the opening bell, Ortiz pressed forward with a sharp jab, working to control the distance and rhythm. The 1st round was relatively uneventful as both fighters felt each other out.
You know, one thing to watch early with Kavaliauskas, he operates behind.
The 2nd round, Kavaliauskas turned the fight on its head. He caught Ortiz with a clean uppercut on the inside that nearly put him down for the first time.
Defense. So, you know, he has a little bit of a big shot there. Right uppercut by Kavaliauskas.
Left hand again for Kavaliauskas, and Ortiz's legs aren't quite right as he holds on.
There was a right uppercut. Ortiz Jr. didn't see that punch coming.
Ortiz Jr. looked down at the canvas for a second. He may be in trouble here.
He is in some trouble.
Kavaliauskas landed more power shots, and Ortiz appeared to be really vulnerable.
Kavaliauskas' right hand swings again, swing and misses on a knockdown. The referee says no. Back up goes Ortiz Jr.
The referee waved off what looked like a knockdown as a slip, but Ortiz had been in serious trouble. From that point forward, Ortiz regained control.
Oh, I'd have to see a replay there, but that sure looked like a knockdown to me.
Kavaliauskas!
Ortiz hurts Kavaliauskas to the body now.
Running into this 2nd round, Ortiz just getting more angry. Is he too brave for his own good here, though? What?
At the end of the 3rd round, Ortiz landed a power jab at close range that dropped Kavaliauskas for the first time. He got up at the count, but he knew immediately that Ortiz's power was real.
No, you need to go back behind the jab, but that's the thing about Kavaliauskas.
Ortiz continued to work methodically through the middle rounds, carefully setting up bigger shots with his jab.
Yes, so far.
But Kavaliauskas wasn't ready to back down.
Oh, nice counter right for Kavaliauskas. He thinks he's hurt Ortiz, and he's letting his hands go in again.
But slowly started to gas out, letting Ortiz do the work.
By Ortiz.
Kavaliauskas, though, still sitting down on his punches.
Both these guys are landing some big shots right now.
And both landing big shots behind technique. See Ortiz keep those hands up right there. And that's what I was talking about earlier. The later this fight.
The 8th round was where the wheels came off completely.
This crowd begins to buzz, and Kavaliauskas doesn't look great. He, the ferocious finisher that we believe him to be.
Right now, he's the composed and ferocious finisher.
Big left hook down.
Body language is wilting away from the Mean Machine, looking down.
It took Terrence Crawford 9 rounds to beat Kavaliauskas. Can Ortiz do it in 8?
The glove touches again. Left. Ortiz looking to land one more big power punch to erase Kavaliauskas once and for all. And he's done it. The Texas Hammer drops again. Vergil Ortiz Jr.
With just 1 second remaining, the referee stopped the fight, avoiding further demolition. Kavaliauskas had become the first opponent to last longer than 7 rounds with Ortiz, but only because he was incredibly durable. He had absorbed more punishment than anyone else had and still tried to fight back. The result, though, was never in doubt after the 3rd round. Ortiz had now stopped 18 straight opponents. The streak was becoming historic. People were starting to compare him to the great Mexican finishers, Erik Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez. He wasn't at their level yet, but the trajectory was pointing in that direction, and he had to show what he's made of against the pinnacle of the Ukrainian boxing school next. Serhii Bohachuk was the interim WBC super welterweight champion. He was 24 and won with 23 knockouts. He was from Ukraine, trained in Los Angeles, and had been demolishing everyone put in front of him.
That's where he worked. Oh! Right hand! Down!
This was Ortiz's first fight at 154 pounds. The medical issues had forced him to move up in weight. If there was ever a time for someone to expose him, this was it. Bohachuk caught Ortiz with a right hand in the 1st round and put him down.
Whoa! Nice shot over the top!
It initially was ruled as a slip, but replay showed it was a punch. The commission reviewed the footage before the 5th round began and overturned the call. It was ruled a knockdown. Ortiz got up and started pressing forward immediately, getting into the short distance.
You see the smile from both fighters. The right hand seemed to connect, but clearly the footwork issue, the bigger issue at play there, as ruled by referee Harvey Dutt.
You know, whoa, that was a great right hand by Bohachuk. You see, right now, what I see Bohachuk's doing is he's applying pressure because he wants Vergil to throw shots.
But little did he know that Bohachuk wasn't an easy nut to crack.
He wants Vergil to throw these shots and catch him in between.
He's now wading his way to the inside, gets caught by a couple uppercuts by Bohachuk, who's just slinging those left hooks as well.
And these guys ain't wasting no time.
This is looking exactly as promised.
Bohachuk gave Ortiz the most competitive start ever.
Yes.
Oh, that shot buckled him. He's hurt. Bohachuk's hurt by the overhand right.
And now Ortiz going back downstairs to the body. Bohachuk just trying to smother Ortiz and maybe work through the effects of that shot.
Bohachuk's legs are wobbled. He doesn't have his legs under him right now.
The two traded heavy shots in the center of the ring for the next several rounds.
No.
Yeah, but you know, right there in that replay, he did get hit with the shot.
Yeah, that may have been, that looked like a knockdown.
Yeah, it's one of those balance shots. But then, you know, Vergil got up and he hurt Bohachuk with a big overhand right.
So the firefight has begun here in Las Vegas. Nice uppercut in the high 70s. Nice body shot there from Ortiz as Bohachuk tries to fire back. That chopping right hand from Ortiz coming through again.
Vergil keeping that defense tight, looking for an opening.
This wasn't a technical boxing match. This was a war. Both men were landing clean power punches, taking damage. The crowd was on its feet.
Bohachuk banging away to the body with the right hand, but that's a better body shot from Ortiz.
That was a great angle
right hand from Ortiz right at the back.
Bohachuk was landing clean right hands, but Ortiz kept walking through them, occasionally closing distance.
I like what Vergil's doing right now. Boxing, setting traps, setting that counter up top with the right hands.
See Ortiz outlanding Bohachuk 53-32 according to CompuBox. Nice body shot again from Ortiz, who's just squaring up, walking Bohachuk down in the early portions of this round.
Every time Bohachuk hurt him, Ortiz fired back. There was no quit in him. He just kept coming forward.
Two battering rams meeting head-to-head here. Ortiz doing a little of what Bohachuk likes to do, just outright smothering pressure. And he's getting the better of these exchanges at the moment.
The body shots from Ortiz started to accumulate.
Explicitly targeting the body and then looking for those uppercuts through the middle.
And you can see that body of Bohachuk is starting to get red, even the arm. Vergil keeps gripping that left hook to the body.
Hard right hand over the top, but back comes Bohachuk in combination. Inside the final minute of round 3.
Whoa.
Every minute of this fight is taking a harsh physical toll on both men.
See, Corey, the difference of these guys trading right now is that Vergil has leverage on his punches, where Bohachuk is more of arm shots.
Bohachuk was still landing his power shots, but you could see he was breathing harder. The body work was slowing him down.
Way the counters.
Well, this is what Bohachuk promised. He said that he would make constant adjustments throughout this fight.
And his defense is nice and tight. You know, he's protecting himself from the short shots that Vergil was landing early.
In the 8th round, Bohachuk landed a clean left hook, and Ortiz went down again. He tried to deny it again, but this one was a legitimate knockdown.
With a right hand of his own.
See,
nice left hook! And Ortiz says no, but I think the gloves touch the ground.
5, 6, 7.
Wow, that happened so.
Ortiz stormed back immediately, landing a barrage of shots that hurt Bohachuk badly.
Ortiz
Vergil has him hurt.
Vergil has him hurt. Trying to get it back.
Oh!
Ortiz is going wild here in the 8th round.
And this is why you love Vergil Ortiz. The man goes down, gets back up, and he's going for the kill.
Bohachuk tried to fire back, but Ortiz was overwhelming him with volume.
Trying to set it up with them jabs.
Final 10 seconds.
Whoa.
Of a brutal and fascinating boxing.
Hurt.
And Bohachuk feeling that right hand. What a round!
The fight turned into an absolute war over the final 4 rounds.
Ortiz might have been on the canvas technically in that previous round, but he's fighting like he's the one who scored a knockdown in the last round, like he's the one who has the momentum, and he feels like he has something here. He is back on the inside where he hasn't spent a whole lot of time over the last couple rounds.
Both men were exhausted. Both men were hurt, but neither man would back down.
Good uppercut from Bohachuk as well. Chance of Ortiz starting to rain down here in the Michelob Ultra Arena as a left hook from Bohachuk rains down.
Ortiz's work rate and body attack gave him the edge down the stretch.
Vergil needs to watch out for that straight right hand because he's jabbing with that lead hand real low. And Bohachuk has a sharp right hand.
Hard right hand again there from Bohachuk. He is lining that one up. Now Ortiz saying, okay, the jabbing isn't working. Let's just go back to warfare instead. Final 20.
He was throwing more punches, he was landing to the body more consistently. Bohachuk was still dangerous, but he was fading.
That's a great setup shot right there by Vergil.
Ortiz said that he expected this fight to be gritty, to be nasty, but I don't know that he expected that it would be.
With Ortiz showing the dog he had in him.
Exactly. This is a great rhythm right now for Vergil.
It's right hand over.
And that right hand hurt Bohachuk. That right hand hurt him. And the reason it hurt him is because Vergil's making the adjustment of boxing and setting up the big shot.
When the final bell rang, both men raised their hands. Both men thought they had won. The crowd was chanting for both fighters. This had been a legitimate Fight of the Year candidate. When the scorecards were read, 2 judges had it 114 to 112 for Ortiz. The third scored it 113 to 113. Majority decision. Ortiz had won the interim WBC super welterweight title. Many observers agreed the fight was close enough to go either way, but the judges saw it for Ortiz, and that was what mattered. The performance proved something important. Ortiz wasn't just a devastating finisher. He had heart. He could take a punch. He could adjust when things weren't going his way. He could win a close fight on the scorecards. Those were the qualities that separated world-class fighters from everyone else. The next challenge came in Riyadh against Israil Madrimov, a former WBA super welterweight champion who had just lost a competitive decision to Terence Crawford 6 months earlier. Crawford had moved up to 154 pounds specifically to fight Madrimov, and while Crawford won, Madrimov gave him a tough fight. He was a technical southpaw from Uzbekistan with fast hands, sharp counters, and an amateur pedigree that included medals at major international tournaments.
Does Madrimov think it's time to gamble? Oh, that's 2 nice shots there and a good right hand. Good uppercut and a huge...
He was everything Bohachuk wasn't. Slick, mobile, and frustrating to hit cleanly.
Down on that right right angle right across his forehead.
Fantastic shot.
There it is again. And look at this, Madrimov. They're going to stop it. The performance of a lifetime on his biggest stage, and he is showing it.
The fight took place on February 22, 2025 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on the undercard of Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol II. The Saudi Arabian government was investing heavily in boxing, and this was one of their showcase cards, with legends like Usyk and Joshua watching. Madrimov controlled the first half of the fight with movement and sharp counters.
Yeah, there is more aggression here, isn't there, from Ortiz? Looks like there's a nick under the left thigh of Ortiz Jr.
Yeah, he's marked up already. It's this.
He made Ortiz miss repeatedly and landed clean shots that marked up both of Ortiz's eyes.
Counter it with that right hand.
Right to the body from Madrimov. He's got plenty of power too. 7 knockouts on his record, and of those 10 wins. But he's just so adaptable.
Ortiz struggled to cut off the ring and looked frustrated.
But boxing has come to Saudi.
Madrimov was fighting the perfect fight. He wasn't letting Ortiz get set to throw his power shots.
Go to Saudi Hall. Bethnal Green, of course, the spit and sawdust home of British boxing.
But in the middle rounds, Ortiz began landing body shots and turning the fight into a grind.
He was a lot of fun to watch, Victor Ortiz, wasn't he?
A couple of weeks below, though.
Good right hand there to the body from Vergil Ortiz Jr. And this is...
Instead of chasing Madrimov around the ring, Ortiz started cutting off angles and working the body when Madrimov came in to punch.
So did his confidence as well. Really believed in himself that he can compete at the highest of level.
Good body shot from Ortiz Jr. And he fell that Madrimov.
Madrimov's movement slowed as the bodywork accumulated. He was still landing clean shots, but he wasn't moving as much.
Now that he can get on top of Madrimov.
Left hook to the body after that 1-2. It does catch the guard of Madrimov, but where the hands are higher, obvious, but that left hook is there.
High guard, left hook to the body. Here's the
Madrimov was starting to stand and trade more, which was exactly what Ortiz wanted.
Look at that. The highest punch landed ratio for Ortiz Jr. in the fight, in that field. Oh, that's the crowd. Eddie Hearn just looking a little bit worried at ringside as his man Israil Madrimov.
It's the footwork, the pressure, and he's very subtle when he cuts off the ring. Big one.
Ortiz took control in the championship rounds, pressing forward and landing the bigger shots.
Important it is to them.
Yeah, I just think he's got to shorten up the shots here. Doesn't need to be doing that, Madrimov. Exactly what I don't want to see him doing. Landing a great
Madrimov tried to stand and trade in the final round, but Ortiz outworked him.
Found division.
You know, Madrimov was throwing a left hook as well then.
Beautiful shot from Ortiz Jr. Hurts Madrimov, but he holds on and he comes back himself.
Good effort here from Madrimov, but Ortiz's
noise of that shot echoed around the arena.
You can feel it.
When the final bell rang, Ortiz looked more confident on the scorecards. He knew he had taken over in the second half of the fight.
And still, WBC interim super welterweight champion of the world, Vergil Ortiz Jr.
Madrimov protested afterward, saying he felt he had done enough to win. Some observers agreed. The 117 to 111 scorecard seemed wide, but the other two scorecards reflected what had happened. Madrimov won the early rounds, Ortiz won the later rounds, and it came down to how the judges weighed each portion of the fight. It was the second straight fight where Ortiz had gone the full 12 rounds. He had proven he could box when he needed to, adjust when his usual approach wasn't working, and win close fights on the scorecards. Those skills were essential at the world-class level. Ortiz's second defense of the interim WBC super welterweight title came against Erickson Lubin. He was a former WBC title challenger who had been knocked out by Sebastian Fundora in the 9th round of their April 2022 fight for the WBC interim title.
Jab by Lubin right off the break. 10 seconds remain. Uppercut connected by Fundora. Tried to unload with that left hand. Uppercut connected by Fundora. Has him pressed in the corner. And another uppercut as Fundora
He was 27-2 coming into this fight, with both losses coming by stoppage against top-level opposition. If he could beat Ortiz, he would be right back in the world title picture. Lubin was the underdog, but he was a live underdog. He had the style to give Ortiz problems, the southpaw stance, the long jab, the ability to move when he needed to. On paper, this could be competitive. Spoiler, it wasn't. Lubin tried to establish his jab early, but Ortiz walked through it and landed clean right hands.
Lubin hasn't been giving him that.
We mentioned the strength, Sergio, and Vergil Ortiz looks like the bigger man in the ring, but this has been Erickson.
By the end of the first round, Lubin was already backing up. In the second round, Ortiz cornered him against the ropes. Lubin tried to fight his way out, but he was trapped.
Lubin, who seems to be content leaning against the ropes.
And there's that left hook that I was talking about. Vergil already landed it.
And the man who is dressed like a matador is getting the horns of the bull right now.
Lubin needs to get off the ropes. He can't be getting hit by a big puncher against the ropes this early. And that shell defense is going to work against Lubin.
Lubin tried to cover up, but he was defenseless.
And get more confidence.
Is he trying to rope-a-dope here, Sergio? What do you think he's thinking?
Oh, he's hurt.
He's out on his feet. They stopped the fight. Vergil Ortiz just like that.
The fight was over at 1:30 of the second round. Lubin sat on the canvas shaking his head in frustration. He had prepared for this fight for months, and it was over in less than 5 minutes. Ortiz had retained his interim WBC super welterweight title and sent a message to the rest of the division. Lubin, who had proven his toughness against the best at 154 pounds, couldn't survive 2 rounds with him. The performance was a statement. Ortiz was back to his old form, walking forward, landing heavy shots, and finishing quickly. The 2 decision wins over Bohachuk and Madrimov had been necessary to prove he could go 12 rounds and win close fights, but this was a reminder that when everything was clicking, he was one of the most dangerous finishers in the sport. As of right now, Vergil Ortiz Jr. is 24-0 with 22 knockouts. He holds the WBC interim super welterweight title. He has stopped former world champions, undefeated contenders, and seasoned gatekeepers. He has been dropped twice and gone the distance twice. He has shown he can box when he needs to and finish when the opportunity presents itself. The power is real, the work rate is relentless, and the mentality is unshakable. The question is, who can solve the problem he presents? Jaron Ennis moved up to super welterweight after unifying the welterweight division and is scheduled to challenge Xander Zayas for the unified WBA and WBO titles in June 2026. That fight has been discussed between Ennis and Ortiz for over a year, but complications have prevented it from being made. The matchup makes sense. 2 undefeated American fighters with massive power, both in their 20s, both at the peak of their abilities. Sebastian Fundora holds the WBC super welterweight title after successfully defending it against Keith Thurman in March 2026. He's 6'6", fights as a southpaw, and presents a unique challenge with his height and reach. That's the fight Ortiz wants next. Ortiz is the interim champion. Fundora is the full champion. The winner would be the undisputed #1 at 154 pounds. The talent is there. The power is there. The mentality is there. The next chapter will determine whether he becomes a world champion or remains a very good fighter who never quite reached the top. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and keep loving boxing. Until the next one.